So for the past year and a half I've been making a bullet hell roguelike called Legends Reloaded.
Wow.
I had already started this project before in Unity, but once I switched to Godot, I decided to scrap everything and start fresh. So as you see, the genre is bullet hell roguelike. I really like Enter the Gungeon, I really like Binding of Isaac, I really like Broforce. But there were some things missing from each of them. This is my attempt to make a roguelike that I would enjoy playing and hopefully others as well. From the Binding of Isaac I like the gory stuff, as well as I like the room generation and layouts. So when I started to make a game I wanted to have some biopunk vibes, like you create weapons from organs, spawners explode, you have splashy sounds. So what I really liked from Broforce was the amount of enemies coming at you, as well as the wave system. You having a lot of power and mowing down enemies like grass. I just want to give more control over the player's character. And of course, as you probably can see, my main inspiration was Enter the Gungeon. Cool weapons, dashing, bosses, etc, etc. The main premise of the game is very basic, and that's by design. So there's an alien invasion happening in the solar system, and the invasion is done by Lovecraftian type aliens. Luckily by that time human civilization have developed a technology that allows them to clone and resurrect legends. So Earthlings have managed to set up non-human bases on the alien invaded planets. The reason that we can only resurrect legends is because these devices are recollection based and uses all of the Earthling collective memories to resurrect the legends. So the legends are as follows: Alfred Breinstein, 3-Puck Parkour, and Marlin Merlot.
Note that these characters are a parody. They're not based on any deceased or living people. Purely generic archetypes whose likeness is not based on anyone specific.
So these legends are being killed, resurrected, killed, that's the roguelite loop. So now let's talk about the game loop. Loof. What the f is loof? So now let's talk about the game loop and specific mechanics.
I'm a mechanic.
You enter the room and you have multiple enemy spawners. Enemies keep spawning until you reach the specific amount of enemies killed to be able to destroy spawners. And now that you're able to kill the spawners, you gotta do it as fast as you can, because the enemies keep spawning. Once you have destroyed all of the spawners, all of the enemies, you can proceed to the next room. The currency is not dropped by enemies, the currency is only dropped by spawners. So this way I can kinda control approximately how much currency players get in each stage of the game. After finishing a couple of rooms, you will probably find a boss room, but I would suggest to explore more rooms to get more currency. Each planet will consist of 3 levels. First level will have a mini boss at the end, second level will have another mini boss, third one will have the main boss of the planet. To generate the rooms, I just built upon the basic Drunkard's Walk script that I found in Godot forums, and a whole lot of other technical stuff that makes the room generation possible. Probably some adjustments will be needed once the actual levels are done. Also, you can traverse backwards through the rooms, since I store every completed room state. All of the rooms will be pre-made, but each room inside of it will have some randomness. The types of enemies that can spawn in it, where those enemies are placed, where are the obstacles, where are the halls, etc, etc. So we have random layout, and within the rooms we have randomness happening as well. Also at the start you can choose your player, whether it's Alfred, Parkour or Merlot. Each of them have special abilities. Alfred can summon a black hole. It sucks enemies towards it and damages them. Parkour can drop his mic. The mic pushes enemies away and damages them. And Merlot has a charm ability that stops all enemies for a couple of seconds. A little bit about progression. When you kill spawners, you get currency. Each sublevel will have one shop, as well as the boss or mini boss in the sublevel will drop an item as well. Items are divided into 2 sections. You have passive items as well as active items. Active items are simple. You just consume them to get temporary boosts, regain health, or some more interesting ones like kill all bullets, spawn bullets from player's possession every X seconds, become indestructible and damage enemies just like Super Mario, freeze enemies, poison enemies, burn enemies. More specific ones to come in the future. And then you get the passive items. Passive items give you boosts for the entirety of the run. And these again consist of some basic stat increases like fire rate, player speed, dash cooldown reduction, etc, etc. Many stats there. And we have some special ones like possibility for a bullet to split in 3, a classical glass cannon that you take more damage but deal more damage. Also an item that has a small percentage of leaving a clone of you behind that shoots enemies. And this happens after you dash. Also we get dual wielding that uses both guns and shoots the bullets in both directions, but slightly reduces the damage. And more unique and more game altering passives are to come in the future as well. And now a little bit about the weapons. The weapons will be separated in 3 tiers. For now I have created only the tier 1 weapons. Every time you buy a tier 1 weapon that costs a specific amount of organs, you get a random weapon from tier 1. So the weapon types vary as well. You have like basic pistol types, you have shotgun types, you have sniper rifle types, SMG types, assault rifle types. My favorite weapon as far as the bubble burper or burpy bubbler or Barney Rubbler, I don't know why it's so easy to implement new guns. So for each gun I can define custom properties like fire rate, bullet speed, how many bullets to reload, damage, range, sprites. And I also can check whether these are spread bullets for shotguns or it's a burst weapon. When I choose a shotgun, I can also set how many bullets are spawned, at what angle they are spawned. I can also make 360 weapons if I wanted to, as well as I can set a custom bullet for each. And the bullets can have their own properties, like be piercing, be acidic, being burning, being homing, and anything we could imagine. So this way it's really easy to create new guns and will be easy to tweak the existing ones through the inspector. So let's talk a little bit about the enemies. The one thing I wanted to do is not to have collisions between enemies and the players, so player can freely walk. You only get damage when the enemy shoots you or get you with a melee attack. So the first enemy that was created was the basic enemy that does a simple melee scratch. From this enemy came the charging enemy that blinks and charges at the player doing melee attack. And also we have the exploding enemy that does AoE damage if the player is within range. A regular shooting enemy that shoots a single bullet at the player. A blind enemy that doesn't follow the player, it goes to random spots and just shoots. A homing enemy that shoots a homing bullet at the player. A rapid shooter that shoots 3 bullets in succession towards the player. A trident shooter, this enemy just shoots 3 bullets at once at the player. And also we have flying enemies that can fly over the halls. A basic flying enemy that scratches. We have a flying charging enemy that can charge over the halls. And also we have a flying shooting enemy that can also fly above the halls and spawns multiple bullets that flies towards the player. So with these enemies there should be enough combinations to make interesting levels from. And I already have implemented 2 mini bosses, the big one is yet to come. So speaking about the current state of the game, I'm currently approaching to launch the Steam page, and also I'm working hard on a demo that I could pitch to publishers. So currently for the demo I'm just building out the first planet with 3 sub-levels, 2 mini bosses, 1 boss. Also this is not really polished, the polishing stage will come later. I need to fix lights, I need to add more particle effects, and also add normal maps for the sprites. So most of the gameplay and shop mechanics are done. The biggest thing that is left for the demo is the level creation. Also I gotta make a cool final boss fight for the 3rd sub-level, and loads of bug fixes, visual fixes and things like that. But the levels themselves, that's the biggest thing. So now a little bit about my development progress. It's been 1.5 years since I started this, and I'm doing this only in the evenings. Check out my day in life video somewhere on the screen. Most of the mechanics and systems in the game are done, so now it's gonna be time for level building. Currently I'm doing the first planet with 3 sub-levels, since for the next 2 planets I will need to hire artists to do some more work for the game. And also I will need some music, and I will probably need some marketing help as well, so that's why I have decided to look for a publisher. Since it's been 1.5 years, I could go in detail about the things I have developed, but that probably would be really boring. You can see the commit list here. Looking at this, I've been doing it pretty consistently. So for example in January I have done approximately 15 commits. So it's going real good. Artists have been doing a great job in delivering loads of assets. I've been doing some art stuff myself that is probably way worse than the stuff they send me. Tier 1 weapons are done. The bullets for the weapons are done, tier 1 items are done, base sound effects are done. Some of the sounds will be redone once the final polishing stage is in effect. Also I still need to do the main menu, but the shop menu and character menu is done. Also I'm working with an artist who's currently creating my Steam page capsules. So expect a Steam page within a month or 2. As for the finished demo, I plan for it to be finished in the first months of summer. Also I tried to do something significant before I share the progress of the project. Learning from my past mistakes, where I tried to create a Metroidvania about the time-traveling dog. Actually when I started I was making devlogs like walking system implemented, shooting system implemented, moving platforms implemented, art added. So basically I overshared without any significant progress, and I tried to not to make this mistake again. Hopefully by the time I share my next devlog, you will be able to wishlist the game on Steam. And this is the current progress with my biopunk roguelike, Legends Reloaded. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you're not one of the 600 people who already has. See you next time, hopefully soon.